The people we're about to meet are part of the leaders of a group that is going to revive Detroit. That'll be next right here on Due Process.
Major funding for Due Process is provided by Meade Lexus of Southfield and Meade Lexus of Lakeside, offering a large selection of new and pre-owned certified premium vehicles.
While others are content to imitate, we'll continue to innovate. The Lexus RX. Why settle for a copy when you can own the original?
And by WWJ News Radio 950, keeping you up to date with the latest news, traffic, weather, sports, and business information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Live, local, and committed to Michigan's future. News Radio 950, WWJ.
NPR. Hi, I'm Henry Baskin. I'm host for this edition of Due Process. Today we're going to talk to what I said were some of the leaders of a revival within the city of Detroit. A lot of disciplines, but a lot of energy. And I'd like you to meet two of these people right now. Ross Sanders, the CEO of Bizdom, B-I-Z-D-O-M.
Yes.
Welcome to Due Process.
Thank you for having me.
Matt Clayson, you're director of the Detroit, you're a director of the Detroit Creative Center?
Yep, director of the Detroit Creative Corridor Center.
Okay. And you work out of, the College for Creative Studies?
Yeah, we're College for Creative Studies is one of our partners, as well as Business Leaders for Michigan. And we're currently developing a business acceleration studio within the College for Creative Studies Design Campus, which is housed at the Taubman Center for Design Education.
Let's talk about the area, the geographic area that we're talking about, so we can just sort of focus on it. Ross, where is that?
We're located at Techtown, which is about 3 blocks south of East Grand Boulevard, just north of Wayne State's campus. Okay,
so we're talking about the boulevard being the north part of the center. Mm-hmm. And how far down do you go? Down to the river?
Well, we're located right there at Techtown, which is an incubator right there just south of the boulevard. Right. But there's a lot of development that's going on from CompuWare on up to that area. There's a string of development.
From CompuWare north to
the boulevard, I would think.
Right?
Yes, where most of the development is happening.
Where there are some fabulous architectural structures. Mm-hmm. And Matt, do you work at the new building for the college?
Yeah, definitely, for the new design center that they have there.
Okay, tell me what's in there. It's a fabulous looking place from the outside.
Yeah, it basically houses all of the college's design programs, so industrial design, transportation design, advertising design, graphic design, interior design. It houses a charter school for 6 through 12 education, really focusing on extending a curriculum steeped in creative and art studies to inner city youth. Okay. And also has 300 student dormitories, and of course
they have kids living in there, I should say, kids, students there. So you can see Bizdom from your window, right?
Definitely.
So you're on the north side of the corridor. Now, if you go down south towards the DIA, there's a college, the original College for Creative Studies is down there too.
Correct.
So there's a collaboration between the two buildings, and you're not that far away. So this has become ideally a center for creativity, a center to drive people to inspire people, so to speak. Bizdom is open to the public?
Yeah, Bizdom is a nonprofit that Dan Gilbert created, and how it works is we provide an entrepreneur with the training and funding necessary to launch a Detroit-based business. In exchange for that, we take a share of ownership in that business.
Okay, so if you have an idea for a business, and you're going to make, hot dogs wrapped in pizza, and franchise that out, come to Bizdom and say, will you help me?
Sure. And so what we do is we take on people into our program. They come into our program for 4 months full time. They receive training on how to launch a business. All the expenses are covered. We cover the expenses of the training. We provide a living stipend for those who come to the program. And while they go through our program, they're developing a plan for business.
You provide a stipend for
Yes,
them?
we do.
Really?
Yes, so all expenses are paid. And as they come through the program, they develop a plan for a business that needs to be headquartered in the city of Detroit. And then those who complete the program can get two things. They can get funding for that plan, and they can get a percentage of ownership in that plan. As I mentioned earlier, Bizdom takes a share of ownership in that business, but we're a nonprofit, so any proceeds we get go back into future businesses.
For other people who want to build it.
All Detroit-based businesses.
So how long have you been doing, how long has Bizdom been around?
We started Bizdom in January of 2007.
All right, so just a few years. And so how do you connect with the College for Creative Studies and the new building they have?
Well, Matt and I have talked on a couple of occasions. We're trying to develop a collaborative community, so we'll coordinate on those types of initiatives. We'll coordinate with just different entrepreneurial initiatives that are going on all along that corridor from the CompuWare building on up to the boulevard.
Right, and you go down, before you know it, you're on Wayne State property.
Correct.
I mean, are they part of the coalition?
Yeah, they're definitely part of it. Techtown, where Bizdom U is housed, is actually affiliated with Wayne State. So that's Wayne State's Research and Development Park right there.
So you have up to 300 students living in your facility?
Correct. And it's not my facility. We're actually, but the facility that we're housed in, of course, yeah, there's 300 student beds in there.
Okay, now there's also student housing down at the original college, correct?
Yes, there is, in the Art Center building.
So you're bringing people from all over the country,
all
possibly
over the world,
to this area. And is it looked upon, do you get any tax breaks, any tax benefits and things such as that to encourage the development of this area?
There's a lot of different tools that are available. I mean, I think both of our core focus is to really make the private markets work in that area, so you don't need the incentives. So you have market-based growth. But in the interim, and we have one of the tools that we work closely with in partnership with the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation is what we call the Creative Corridor Incentive Fund. And this is a recoverable grant that basically can white box out space for creative sector design type businesses in this corridor from CompuWare to News Center, or it can help with business operations in case they need to grow and expand.
Is it your hope that this corridor will gradually enlarge so that that there will be a revival in the city of Detroit?
Absolutely. One of Dan Gilbert's impetuses for opening Bizdom is that, he really believes that for Detroit to recover, it needs to transform itself from an economy that's been reliant on manufacturing far too long to one rooted in innovation and entrepreneurship. And we believe entrepreneurs are key to that. Entrepreneurs don't fill jobs, they create wealth. And so Bizdom is just one initiative that we're working on. There's several others. As you know, Dan has moved his corporate headquarters downtown. There's several other funds that have been developed, but we're really trying to, this is just kind of one step, really trying to develop that whole area.
So people with an idea come to you, and it's sort of like the TV show, I can't think of the name of it, the commercial show, whether you have an idea, they pass on it or offer to buy into it.
Yes, they can, but we help them develop that idea. It's we as they go through our training for the 4-month period, we work on that idea with them.
Are your doors open to anyone?
Yes, they are. You only have to be 18 years of age. Most of our folks have college degrees, but that's really it. You just have to be 18 years of age. You have to have a passion for business, and you have to have the determination to be a successful entrepreneur. And we draw people from all over. I mean, we draw Detroiters, but you don't have to live in Detroit to come into Bizdom. We draw from Ann Arbor, we draw from Royal Oak, we draw from all areas to help develop this kind of urban, this lively, viral urban core in the city.
Okay, I see that the energy is there. The college has 300 people plus in that area, but they're different. I mean, his people, your people are more creative. They're not entrepreneurial in the sense that Bizdom's people would be entrepreneurial.
I think it's at different stages in the cycle, too. And these are more, who we're really working with are more of the established business owners on how to get them on kind of a growth curve so they can be sustainable businesses in this creative corridor, and to get them to a state where they can begin to cluster around each other. So instead of having businesses all over, there begins to be some density around it.
So there's some synergy between these separate entities, but synergy nonetheless.
Exactly.
And I don't think the distinction is that much different between a creative and an entrepreneur. I mean, entrepreneurs are creative. They have to create a business. They have to create a need. They create jobs, and so that's why there's synergy here.
There he is, sticking up for the bosses again. What can I tell you? No, but I can see it. Have any of your people been successful in? Well, it's transformative, but I'm trying to understand it, whether or not they can take their creativity over to Bizdom and say, hey, I have an idea?
Definitely. I think there's a lot of that, especially with a lot of the students at the college, but also a lot of the people that we're working with are already past kind of that incubation stage. I mean, our advisory board, for example, they represent $1 billion.
Oh, your advisory board?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. They're tops in the business community in Detroit.
Yeah, and well, they're tops in the creative community, but the businesses they represent represent $1 billion of economic impact in the region, employ over 5,000 people. These are all creative sector firms here: advertising agencies, marketing firms, digital media firms,
IT?
video. A bit more.
You're going to get there, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you're going to have to. We have a couple other people, groups such as Launch Incorporated, and that you may have come across or dealt with in going about your business. For example, the Burton Theater would be one of them. We're going to meet the owners and operators of those. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking to these people and see how their synergy, and if there is synergy between them, and invite other people to come into your tent, so to speak, and join you. How does it look, by the way? Is a lot of promise on the horizon?
We think so. We've got 12 businesses now in our portfolio.
And more to come.
And more to come.
Okay. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back right after this and talk to a couple of visitors.
Legal referrals and more information on this and other related topics are available on our website at www.dueprocess.tv. There you'll find information on today's program, helpful hints to legal issues, support materials, and lawyer referrals. You can also stream previous episodes of Due Process.
Oh, thank you. We're back on Due Process. We're joined by Antonella Solomon. Antonella, thank you for coming in and saying hello.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, and we're going to talk to you about your launch company. You're going to give me the full name, I'm sure. And seated next to you is Nathan Faustin?
Faustin, yeah.
Okay, Faustin. You spelled it a little different, but you're with the Burton Theater.
Absolutely.
Now,
yeah.
you've heard the discussion, hopefully, that we've been having about this center of energy. There's a tech center, but there's a creative center, and there's an entrepreneurial component to it. Where does your Burton Theater fit in?
Well, it's interesting. The Burton Theater was done in a much more bohemian way than this, and it's awesome to listen to the new opportunities that have arisen, even while I was setting up the theater with my partners. But it's incredible that there's training available for people because it's invaluable. There are things, I got a film degree from Wayne State. I was not prepared for a lot of the things asked of you as being an entrepreneur, and so to know that there's this type of thing happening in Detroit, it's tremendous.
Well, can it make you stay here instead of taking off for other film areas?
Oh yeah, I mean that. Initially, prior to opening the Burton Theater, I had made arrangements to move to Los Angeles, and I scoped it out in 2009, and my plan was to move to L.A., and it just, when the Burton started to materialize, it was actually kind of significant because my move-in date at the apartment was October 2nd, which was actually the day we opened the Burton.
So it all worked out.
Yeah.
So there's a vacant apartment somewhere.
Yeah, right in North Hollywood.
Let me talk to you, Antonella Solomon.
Yes.
You have a company called Launch Learning.
Yes, Launch Learning Group.
Tell me about it. What does it do?
We offer insurance licensing courses and placement for insurance agents. One of the reasons why we started this company is because typically there's about a 50% passing rate in Michigan and many other states. So we wanted to really change the way the courses were taught and improve passing rates to eliminate the barrier to entry. We've changed the way courses are taught by incorporating technology, games, case studies, things that keep people really engaged and entertained. And it's helped our passing rates improve to 80% for first-time test takers.
Wow. Well, you've heard the discussion we've been having here. Bizdom. Did you know about Bizdom before?
Before today? Yes, I'm actually a graduate of the program. I was in the second class. I started in September of 2007, so I'm very familiar with the program.
Oh, wow. How was the experience?
It has been the best experience of my life to date, I must say.
Really?
I am a graduate of Michigan State. I took a lot of entrepreneurship classes. I thought I knew a lot about business before coming into the program, and I'll tell you that I really had no idea. So Bizdom.
Did you take business at Michigan State?
I sure did.
God. Well, we won't talk about what they didn't teach you. But
Hey,
but I heard Ross say that if they help you, you must remain in the city of Detroit.
Correct.
And where are you located?
We are located in the Tech Town building as well.
Oh, you are?
Yes, we are a part of the incubator space, so it is very helpful for us because we are capable of bouncing ideas off of our fellow business partners and also leveraging the resources that Bizdom has created for us.
Let me ask both you and Nathan a question. Can you feel the energy now that you didn't feel 2 years ago? Can you feel it? Can you sense it? Is it palpable when you walk around and visit, for example, Bizdom or the College for Creative Studies?
It's tremendous. I moved downtown around 10 years ago when I started at Wayne. And in the past 3 years, it has been just a windfall of incredible energy. There's more people. I know the census would argue there's less, but there's more people in the core areas where the development's happening. And there's just tons of interesting creative things happening, creative people staying. I think one of the things Detroit offers us is the opportunity to take more of a chance. Because it costs so much less to start a business. Mm-hmm. And it's incredible the type of cottagey niche industries that are popping up. 2 weeks ago, a guy moved from Portland and opened a neon sign shop right down the street from me. Like, it's incredible,
Well, that's great. And Fontanella, Antonella, do you have a problem getting students?
Oh, not at all. One of the things that one of our goals is actually to make this a win-win situation, not only for people that are interested in coming into the industry, but also for companies that are interested in hiring good talent. So for us, it's been a great thing. There's a lot of excitement around the city right now. So
how do you get the word out? And do you get any federal aid, any state aid, any city aid? Is there anything that can help you aside from Bizdom?
Currently, we do not get any type of federal aid. We are working with some of the Michigan Works areas to try to build a bridge between people that are currently on unemployment to come over to work with us and get good jobs in the insurance industry.
For all four of you, it has long been a problem in the area around the city-county building, for example. Let's find a grocery store, let's find a drugstore. They don't exist. I mean, they did not exist, and I still think around the Lafayette corridor there's a problem with helping people, helping your students find places where you would normally walk to in a neighborhood. Is the plan down there in this center or this area, is the plan down to have entrepreneurs come in there, open restaurants, open bars, open drugstores and things such as that?
I think you have to look at the market too. I mean, around the city-county building, no one really lives in that area, so you don't really need that grocery store because you don't have the population that lives there. In the cores where people live, like my neighborhood, Indian Village, I can walk down to the alley to a good grocery store, drive by 3 on the way between there and where I work. Same thing with CCS, as you have University Foods right near there, you have Food Pride, you have a lot of independent retailers. There's programs in place with the Detroit Economic Growth Corporation to help these grocers get access to fresher produce, get access to better signage and better marketing materials so we can begin to cultivate a more independent grocer scene in the city.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I think that's a good point. With respect to Bizdom, we focus more on what we call brain economy businesses that leverage the internet, that leverage social media. So we're not as focused on, mom and pops and retail as we are technology-based businesses. We're really, the world is your marketplace now with the internet. So For example, Launch Learning Group, they do training online. They can reach people in 18 different states right here from Detroit. So we want to grow jobs, high-tech jobs in the city, and we think those are the types of businesses that we're personally focused on.
Were you around when Launch came in with their idea?
Oh, I sure was. Yeah, I've known Antonella throughout the program.
How do you feel being partners with this nonprofit? Antonella?
I think it's a great opportunity. I would encourage anyone who is interested in starting a business to come and check Bizdom out. I think that you'll find a wealth of opportunities as well as resources that you can leverage and take you to the next level.
Okay, and with respect to the Burton Theater, is it film or is it live production or exactly what it is?
Yeah, it's primarily a film theater. We have 35 millimeter and digital setup, but we're looking to expand into live events. It was actually born out of our interest in throwing live events and art happenings around the city. So we're looking to expand into an area where we can have more live events. Have some plays. We'd like to bring live theater back and to our area. And we do a lot of things outside in the summer to do barbecues and drive-in movies and things like that, just to involve the community.
You want to get the word out, and that's what my next question was. How do you get, aside from doing what we're doing right now, how do we get the word out to people and say, hey, this is available. Here's Bizdom, here's Launch, here's the Burton Theater, College for Creative Studies. I know you each market on your own, but I'm trying to understand. The New York Times wrote about you people. The New York Times was so impressed, and but Mayor Bloomberg had an idea. He said, "Why don't we take a bunch of aliens and send them to Detroit?" He said this on a Sunday morning television, meet the press kind of format. And I say, well, you can send people, but you have to give them a reason to be there. You can't just say, well, go there because there's room, there's space, there's inexpensive housing. There has to be somewhere that they can establish themselves so they can earn sufficient sums, stipends that you might call them, to create it. And I'm not certain that that's the idea here. The idea here is to, if the New York Times, put you out there and said, hey, you are reviving a city that was dying, a city that's lost population, and you people are there to say, we're not giving up. We can build this. We have some good, solid cornerstones and some civic leaders who are interested. I mean, aside from the fact that we've lost probably funding for the film industry, I'm not certain that film industry was anything like the Burton enterprise or initiative, because that film industry was come to Detroit, get a break, and leave town. So I'm not certain that it was important. And I know the film people around here are going to say, why'd you say that? But I really feel that the money wasn't staying here. The jobs were there temporarily, but they weren't permanent jobs. So I have to tell you that I just want to thank you for Launch Learning and the Burton Theater. I just wish you all the luck in the world and keep it going.
Thanks.
And,
Thank you so much.
If someone needs information about your respective enterprises, how do they do that? How do they just go online and find you?
Absolutely. We've set up, we have all the modern social media, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. But you can also check our website at burtontheater.com.
Okay. And Antonella, do you have a website?
Same here. We sure do. We are also active in the social media realm. You can visit our website at www.launchlg.com.
Okay. Good luck to both of you. Keep it going. Encourage your friends and family to similarly keep it going too. Appreciate that. Coming back here, Ross, do you have any closing statements about Bizdom and what we should be doing?
Yeah, I mean, you had asked, what do we need to do to get the word out? I think we just continue to do what we're doing. I think there's a lot of activity down there. Dan Gilbert just relocated his corporate headquarters down there. There's 1,700 people down there now.
Right.
There's a new firm called the Detroit Venture Partners, which is a private equity firm that invests in startups. They're working on light rail. The NEI, the New Economy Initiatives, has developed a fund that invests in, called the First Step Fund, that invests in startup businesses. I think we just keep doing what we're doing, keep plugging away, and I think it'll happen faster than we think.
Matt, are you a native Detroiter?
No, I'm not. I'm from Grand Rapids.
Oh, you are? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a nice city. But the light rail that is being proposed from the boulevard downtown, Is that designed to help your tech corridor and all that you do?
Definitely. I mean, really. And first and foremost, it will move people, and it'll make it a lot easier to get from the innovation cluster that's growing around Techtown and the Taubman Center to the employment center of downtown and the cultural center of Midtown. But also, it's an economic development tool, because when you build a light rail line, it actually spurs denser, larger developments around it, too. And
unfortunately, we're out of time, but I want to thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for being here, but thank you for what you're doing. I mean, it's an interesting thing where you say, we're not giving up. And Gilbert said, we're not giving up. You know, this city is viable. It has energy. It has intellectual capacity. It has creative creativity.
Major funding for Due Process is provided by Meade Lexus of Southfield and Meade Lexus of Lakeside, offering a large selection of new and pre-owned certified premium vehicles.
While others are content to imitate, we'll continue to innovate. The Lexus RX. Why settle for a copy when you can own the original?
And by WWJ News Radio 950, keeping you up to date with the latest news, traffic, weather, sports, and business information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Live, local, and committed to Michigan's future. News Radio 950, WWJ.